Welcome to episode 84 of Sharing Life Lessons. This is season 9. We are one spirit, one soul, one world, and together we are creating a library of stories and life lessons. I am your host Hamida, and I want to bring you stories because stories matter, stories inspire, stories teach, and stories heal. A very happy new year from the heart to everyone from me and my family. Thank you for being part of Sharing Life Lessons journey through 2021. A lot of firsts happened in 2021. The podcast is heard around 29 countries with the first time stream in Colombia. We had first time guests from Hawaii, Dubai, Australia, and India. We started our new YouTube channel in September and already have 105 hours of watch time. For those who have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, the link is in the show notes. Spotify and Apple Podcast tells us that we had over 20,000 plays so far. I am in complete gratitude to all of my listeners, monthly subscribers, and guests for being part of Sharing Life Lessons Village. For this episode, I am not bringing your guest because I want to take the time in this first episode of 2022 to set the tone for what to expect of sharing life lessons in this new year, in this new beginning. We all got many wishes for a happy 2022. Here are some that I want to share with you that stayed with me. May the only negative thing in 2022 be the result of your COVID test. Semi funny, I thought. Trust the magic of new beginnings. 12 new chapters, 365 new chances. Let's just take them all. Another one, dear me, don't fall back into your old patterns just because they're familiar. Love me. And let us end with gratitude and begin with hope. This can be life lesson number 1 for this episode. Let us all begin 2022 with hope. Looking forward, what can you expect from sharing life lessons in 2022? First, we will be releasing our 100th episode in May of 2022. You don't see me, but I have my fingers crossed here. As I have in the past, I will continue to bring you guests from all walks of life, across all ages, all genders, across races and geographies, with valuable life stories and life lessons. I hope you have noticed that sharing life lessons is kind of following Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you look at all 83 past episodes, our guests have, without any role played by me, evolved from discussing topics on survival from physical, sexual, and emotional abuse, or financial hardships, or physical illnesses, towards experiencing emotional stability and self actualization with topics of self awareness and consciousness, such as our 46th and 83rd episode was on how to connect with your intuition, 82nd episode on harnessing the power of our subconscious mind, 80th episode on necessity of using our emotions as our friend and ally, etc., etc. Personally, I have reflected on why this gradual organic evolution has occurred. For those who regularly listen, you may have heard me say that the universe is my production assistant because it synchronously sends guests and life lessons my way to transfer to you through this podcast. And what I deliver is what my listeners not only want to listen, but will also benefit from. It's not by chance that I get comments such as, that was an inspirational episode, or that is exactly what I needed to hear today, or the message I received today from Ritu M. I really enjoyed listening to your last episode of 2021. Self trust is what I will work on. In 2022, I intend to get you more of what you are looking for or what will benefit you, but my production assistant, the universe, will decide what I present to you. I trust its decision and have fully surrendered to it. Since this is a new year and new beginning, why don't we all surrender and go with the flow? 2022 will be a year of magical transformation. When I say that to any of my friends or my colleagues or my relatives, they respond with, that is right. I feel it too. And that response excites me because what is the point if only one person expects this year to be transformative? How are we going to experience a universal transformation from the belief of one person? We can only experience it if all of us, as one spirit, one soul, one world, rise our consciousness, rise our vibrations to bring about this much needed transformation. We not only need to feel that 2022 is going to be transformative, but we must believe it so much that whoever our energy touches gets infected by the same belief. Then we will all transform and rise as one world. Desmond Tutu, a well known South African bishop and theologian, passed on December 26, 2021. May his soul rest in peace. He said, transformation begins in you, wherever you are, whatever has happened, however you are suffering. Transformation is always possible. We do not heal in isolation. When we reach out and connect with another, when we tell the story, name the hurt, grant forgiveness, and renew or release the relationship, we begin to transform. So, say you walk into a theater to see a movie, but you walk in on the end of the movie. The scene you see is a happily ever after scene. Now you want to watch the whole movie to see what occurred prior to this happily ever after ending. So you sit down and wait for it to replay. The movie starts again, and there are crazy things happening. Everyone in the theater is going through a series of emotions watching the movie, except you, because you know how the movie ends, and so you are unaffected. You know it ends with everything being all right. This is how you must be about your manifestations. Know and believe that the end is great, regardless of the events occurring in your life. This is life lesson number two. Know and believe that the end is great, regardless of the events occurring in your life. I thought about a question I was asked a while back by a college student who had just listened to episode number 78 with Florida's Funniest Female as my guest. The student was giving me her feedback about it, and she asked me in that discussion, what was that one life lesson shared by any of my guests in 2021 that stood out for me? Well, not only did this life lesson stand out for me, but I have purposefully tried to use it in my life. In early 2021, in episode number 45, Stephanie Chick quoted Stephen Covey's quote from his book, The Eighth Habit. Covey said, between stimulus and response, there lies a space. And in that space lies our freedom to choose our destiny. Stephanie continued to say, you may not have control over what happens to you, but you can have 100% control over how you respond to what happens to you. Your response is the choice you make. And since I have started using the power of my choice, I have seen how things have changed for me for a lot better. And here is a story to end this episode. We cannot have any episode of Sharing Life Lesson without a story. So here we go. I heard this story narrated by Ajahn Brahm, a British Australian Buddhist monk, in one of his discourses. This is how the story goes. A young monk entered a monastery as a student monk, and as his first assignment or chore, he was asked to build a wall with 1,000 bricks. This wall would be a partition between two buildings. He was given 2 days to complete the task. When he finished the task at the end of the second day, he inspected the wall he had built and decided it was good, except for that one brick which was lopsided. That one brick was driving him crazy, and he wanted to break the entire wall and rebuild it to perfection. So he went to the head monk and asked for permission for 2 more days to have the wall completed, and he was granted permission. He broke down the original wall and rebuilt it to create another wall, and this time, when he inspected it, it seemed fine. When the head monk came to inspect the wall, he asked him why it took him 2 extra days to build it. The student monk explained to him what had happened, and the head monk said, if the if the wall had one brick that was lopsided, it also had 999 bricks that were not, and functionally, the original wall would have served the same purpose. then what was the need to demolish the original wall to build the same exact new wall and put in all that effort and time into it? That is when the student monk learned his lesson. What he had done was he focused on what was wrong in his life, which was that one brick, but ignored the other 999 bricks that were great, that were working well together, and that fully served its intended purpose. We always have a choice, and life is all about the choices we make. You can either be angry for what you don't have or be grateful for what you have. The choice is yours. What will you choose? As always, here is a summary of the life lessons we discussed today. 1. Let us end with gratitude and begin with hope. 2. Know and believe that the end is great, regardless of the events occurring in your life. If you believe that you will manifest what you desire, then you will manifest it. 3. Let's be deliberate in everything we do and know that we always have a choice. This brings us to the end of this episode. Again, I wish you a happy new beginning. I'm going to bring you a professional storyteller as a guest for the next episode of Sharing Life Lessons next Wednesday. Until then, be happy, be safe, and be blessed.